afternoon. Welcome to the SHMS news for today, Friday, March 3rd. It is a silver day. Today's lunch options include a grilled cheese sandwich with soup, a variety of pizza options, or a variety of sandwiches or salads. Here is the look at the lunch menu for the next week so you can plan ahead.
Mostly cloudy skies with a high in the upper 30s today. Chance of snow on Sunday. Have a great weekend, Scott Highlands.
Good afternoon, Scott Highlands. This is Miss Hanson, and I am here to read the names for the 6th grade Student of the Month Awards for February 2023. Malik Arda, Minnesota Studies with Mr. Galloway. Khalid Ahmed, AL English with Miss Lensmeyer. Mishti Chowdhury, Reading with Mrs. Hovde. Faiz Chowdhury with Mrs. Bach. Xander Danke, General Music with Mrs. Egger. Avery Emanuel, Minnesota Studies with Miss Ryan. Liu Fieker, EL with Miss S. Trist Franzoni, Science with Mrs. Eppert. Carissa Harris, Science with Mr. Gullix. Eloise Hassenfritz, Strategic Reading with Mrs. Tauchi. Gavin Hippolito, Tech Ed with Mr. Radke. Imani Kabir, Facts with Mrs. Walton. Lalith Kishore Kancharla, English with Mrs. Trusty. Arna Kadi, Minnesota Studies with Mr. Burns. Abdiwak Kabidi, Math with Miss Saxon. Emma Lenmark, English with Mrs. Ledoux. Darshana Meenakshi, Science with Mrs. Wilkins. Elaine Nielsen, Math with Miss Polai. Sierra Patel, English with Mrs. Johnson. Hadi Ramadan, Facts with Mrs. Walton. Caden Rushford with Miss Machiner. Samuel Styler, Physical Education with Mr. Wenzel. Cooper Chol, Espanol Uno with Profe Johnson. Owen Wand, Physical Education with Mr. Dahl. And Charlotte Yo, General Music with Mrs. Egger. Congratulations to these students. You should now report to the pool stairs area to have your picture taken and get your award.
Don't forget, today is the last day to register for Anime Club on My Payments Plus. The club starts on Monday and will meet in Lecture Room B at 3:20. Hope to see you there.
March is Women's History Month. It is a great time to reflect on the struggles and progress of women around the world. The amount of women pioneers who go unrecognized is astounding. Take Julie Hart Beers, arguably one of the first American-born women to find recognition as a painter. During the 19th century, women artists often signed their work with a first initial and last name to hide their gender. It wasn't until the second half of the century that women gradually became a force on the American art descent, finally winning commissions and awards commensurate with their talents.
Essentially, self-taught Beers became the only woman artist of the century to specialize in landscape painting. There were few to no women doing this at the time, primarily because the rigors of painting outdoors were considered unseemly for Victorian women. Although Beers went largely unappreciated during her lifetime, her talent and dedication to landscape painting paved the way for other female artists in this medium.
Have a great rest of your day, Scott Highlands. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.